We are off. Well, happy Tuesday, everybody, and happy Valentine's Day Eve, if there's such a thing. I guess there is, right? The eve of Valentine's Day. So today's theme, as you probably saw in the thumbnail or the title, is 14 things, because Valentine's Day being on February 14th, 14 things that we love about cruising. And I'll tell you what, when I came up with this topic today, this morning, I was like, what am I going to talk about? And then the idea struck me. I said, am I going to be able to come up with 14 things? And so I sat down and, during my lunch break and I started writing. I'll tell you what, I came up with 14 things in like a minute. That's not even an exaggeration. I just started writing and I'm like, oh, I've already got 14 things. I mean, it was just that quick, and I didn't try to expand the list any at all. So I'm sure we can add to this list. What I thought about doing today was asking some of you, what were some of the things that you loved, and then see where they were on my list. Now, I didn't not rank these in any particular order as they apply to me. I just, whatever popped in my head is what I wrote down. So that's how that is. So I see there's already 19 people online. If you haven't already said hi, please do. But let me say hi to everybody that's checked in already, as Zoe tries to crawl over me to grab her plate of treats here. Justin was first again, and then Tim, our admin, right behind him. And let's see, Sandy. Sandy, I think, got the bronze medal. There's Anita making a rare appearance. See, she does exist, everybody. She's not, she's not some made up fairy tale. Let's see, let's keep going. Mandy checked in. Cruise Life TV, Greg and Michelle are here once again. Great to see you too. Cheryl is here. Great to see you, Cheryl. Ben, my neighbor from Wisconsin, is right up the road. We got Shane here, who was a recent winner of a Coach Cruise shirt that I just sent off a few days ago. I don't know if you got that yet. And then we got Nick. Nick is here. K-Deb is back. Good to see you back, K-Deb. Sean is here again. Great to see you, Sean. Danny D, the spectacular supporter, not the good supporter, but the spectacular one, is here once again. And Ann is back. And Ann, every time I see Ann, I think of the Carnival Magic, and that is my next cruise next month. And we're in the 30s now, I think 38 days, 37 days. And Cheryl, Anita already stepped out, but I think she'll pop back in here. We got T-Boat on the go here, and Scott from Controversial Cruising is here once again. Good to see you again, Scott. And yeah, caught up for now. We're up to 26 people. While I'm thinking about it, and I rarely do, if you could hit that like button before I forget to ask again, and then we'll at least get 26 likes coming right out of the gate. And look at that. We got Derek and Amanda from Island Time, and they shared not one story I didn't know about, but two stories I didn't know about. The first was, and this is why you subscribe to Island Time, is that Vista might be late. And I know Mandy's going on the Vista, but she's going on the Vista this weekend. So I think she'll be okay. But I think there's a little 3-day cruise the Vista was supposed to go on. And Derek had shared that they are slow getting there. So that one might not go off as planned or full length. And then the big announcement was, and I didn't even get a chance because I saw it right before the show, but that Carnival is announcing another new ship, another new XL class ship. So if you haven't heard that, like I said, I just heard that on Island Time. So that was cool. And we have Hot Tea. Hot Tea, I don't remember. I think I would remember the name Hot Tea. That's a cool name. So welcome to the show, and thanks for joining us. And Mandy leaves Saturday on the Vista, so hopefully everything will be perfect, ready to go for you, Mandy. But maybe the people that are going that little, or leave Sunday, maybe the people that are doing that little 3-day cruise prior to you, they might be in a little bit of trouble. And then we have Chris Kakins, 135, is here once again. Good to see you, Chris. All right, so super chats carried over from last week. We have Jim B. Johns has numbers 1 through 8. Shane has numbers 9 and 10. And then Eric from North Shore Travelers has numbers 11 through 20. So remember, if you do a super chat, it will always carry over. So Like, for example, if you do a super chat today and for some reason we don't reach 100 in super chats, then it will carry over to next week. Speaking of next week, normally, I'm not very good about planning the shows in advance, but now that I'm out of season and, I've done with basketball for the year, I've started to plan a little bit better. So next week, if you didn't already see it on the Coach Cruz Facebook page, we have Maria, one of my favorite, if not my favorite, alchemist of all time. From the Alchemy Bars, those of you that are fans of the Alchemy Bar, she will be joining me live from Mexico, most likely. I did a FaceTime with her yesterday and we had a nice little chat. And she said, I am good to come on. And here's the thing, everybody. When you're an employee of a company, you got to be careful what you say and things like that. Not to say that she's going to, spill any big dirt or anything like that, but she can't speak a little more freely because she's retired. She's retired from Carnival. So we might get a few extra little juicy stories from 10 years of working at Carnival, not to mention all of the, alchemy stories and things like that. So that is pretty cool. And look at that. We got Tim, speaking of super chats. He has already started us off on the right foot. And Tim is 21. You're 21 through 30, Tim. And high five for Tim and Cheryl. And there is a big treat for you, Zoe. And thank you, because you won't be scratching my arm up the next 5 minutes. All right. And then, like I mentioned, Greg and Michelle, she says, hi, everyone. Finally found my phone. All right. Well, that's a good thing. And Justin is back. Justin, we awarded you that first place for checking in first. And yes, I did see the Super Bowl. I know we got a lot of fans out there of the Chiefs. So I'm not going to say, anything bad. I mean, they're an exceptional team. They're a great team, obviously. Look at that. We got Carnival Cruise addicts jumping in, Liz and Chris. And not only did they jump in and get our first shot up here, but check this out. Look at what they sent me here. And I got it right back here. I got it right next to the bottle of Blanton's. But Liz and Chris, yeah, so take a look at that. So if you want to check out some of the Carnival Cruise Addicts merchandise, look at this nice mug. That's one of the merchandise items they have for their channel. So if you want to check that out and go check out their channel and all the merch they have, you can go do that. So thank you. And for those of you that didn't know, for those of you new to the channel, when I get a $15 or more super chat, you're buying me a shot in addition to getting Zoe a treat. And let me set her treat, since she's working on that one from Tim and Cheryl. Set that aside so I don't forget to give that to her. And we still have the Old Forester. This will last us a couple more shows, I think. It'll be good for a while. But Liz and Chris, thank you so much. Thank you for the awesome mug. And yeah, let's party. Okay, I think I'm caught up. I wanted to start off with a different segment. I always have the Would You Rather, and I was thinking about, well, I need to come up with some Would You Rather. I have something similar to Would You Rather. It's a little morbid, so you got to forgive me for this. But it's not completely terrible, I don't think. It might be fun. So, like I said, it is a little bit morbid. And we got Bruce from Ocean Trail. How do I get to the Coach Cruz store? Well, K-Deb, I'll tell you. I am the Coach Cruz store. I ship my own stuff. A lot of people have spread shop and their own little shops that they have a company produce the stuff, and the company. But yeah, I order all my shirts and then they get delivered to me and then I ship them out. So anytime you get a Coach Cruz shirt, I'm the one that addressed it and took it to the post office and everything else. So yeah, I am the Coach Cruz store. And right now, my main merchandise are my colorful Caribbean colored shirts. I got about 6 different colors, but they all have the same logo and design, just a little different colored lettering and things like that. So yeah, that's the Coach Cruz store for the most part. And I do have a few different little merchandise things popping up here and there. But this is Carnival Cruise Addicts. Look at that. You got another treat. You just finished the first one. So high five again for them. All right. Good girl. Go enjoy that. All right. So I said this was a little bit morbid, but put it in the comments. You can bring back to life one of these. You can bring back to life one. Elvis or Michael Jackson. You can only bring back to life one. Okay, and they're alive well enough to sing and do all the stuff that you like. You can only bring back to life one. Who are you bringing back to life? Elvis or Michael Jackson? So we got Michael Jackson. We're the first two. Cheryl says Elvis. Tim says Elvis. Michelle says Elvis. So it's 3-3 because Shane made it 3-3 with Michael Jackson. Bruce made it 4-3. Danny makes it, let's see. Yeah, 5. Oh, okay. Elvis is taking over now. Okay. I think Elvis is at least 2 ahead, 3 ahead with Hot Tea. 2 ahead now with T-Bone taking MJ, the MJ before he turned strange. And how about Elvis before he gained a bunch of weight? Cave Deb cut it down to 1. So I think that ended up, and look at that, Mandy, I think tied it up. I think Mandy tied it up. So this was a good start here as far as questions go. Elvis versus MJ. King of Rock versus the King of Pop. All right, well, we might leave that one a tie unless somebody else wants to get in here on the voting. Okay, well, you know what? I'm not sure. I mean, Elvis might have won by 1 or MJ might have won by 1. A lot of the votes were coming in there fast and furious, but I think it might have been a tie. So that's a good start. Okay, so in other words, I don't want one of them to stay dead. So we'll just say that we bring them back to both half to life. All right. All right. So here's another big difference, an older, prominent singer versus a younger one. You can bring back to life either Prince or Frank Sinatra. Prince, I loved them both. So that would be a tough one for me. But Prince or Frank Sinatra, who you bringing back? You can only bring back one. Who you bringing back? Prince or Frank Sinatra? Cruise Life TV says Prince. They were first in. And then we got a Frank, a Prince. Prince, Frank. Okay. Prince. Frank, another. This is pretty split again. I think Prince is winning. I see 3-1, 4-1, 5-1, 5-2, 5-3, 6-3, 7-3. Actually, I think Prince is winning this one. Yep. Prince is, and Z is here. Welcome aboard, Z. Yeah, I thought Sinatra's okay. Danny D is a Sinatra fan. Yeah, I thought Sinatra being a combination of a little bit older Prince. Frank lived a long life. Yeah, that's a good point too. Sean, is that Frank did live a long life where Prince, didn't. So that would be more of a reason to bring back Prince. So I like your thinking there. All right. We'll do one more of these. And this one is going to hurt me because I'm the fan of one of these teams. So, but I could understand if people went the other way. Okay. So I did 2 sport teams here. All right. Now, most of you may know, if you know anything about sports, that the Chicago Cubs had not won a World Series in almost 100 years. Actually, it was over 100 years, 108 years. 1908 was the previous World Series the Cubs had won, and then they won again in 2016. So here is the bring it back to life or make it happen, whatever. I don't know what we're referred to this one as. You can take away the 2016 Cubs World Series like it never happened. Just poof, somebody else won in 2016, and the Cubs are still in the hunt for that first World Series, and give it to the Lions to win next year's Super Bowl. So if you want the Cubs to keep their 2016 World Series, then that means the Lions won't win the Super Bowl. The Detroit Lions, who are the NFL's version of the Chicago Cubs, basically. they will not win the world or the Super Bowl in 2025. So you can have the Lions win in 2025, but if that happens, the Cubs lose their 2016 World Series. So put either Cubs or Detroit Lions, or Cubs or Lions. Those are your choices. Who are we going with? All right, Bruce says Cubs. Michelle says Cubs keep their win. Cheryl says keep it. They earned it. All right, I like it. Liz says Cubs. K-Deb is going Lions. Cruise Life, Cubs. Ben is going Lions. Okay. Well, he's a Milwaukee Brewer fan, so that doesn't surprise me. Hot Tea says Cubs. Sandy says Cubs. All right. And I am a Cubs fan, so I'm happy to hear the strong support for the Chicago Cubs. All right. So let's move on to our main segment here. And Carnival Cruise Addicts, I think I gave you your numbers, but for the super chats, you are numbers 31 through 45, I forgot. And Tim, you were 21 through 30. And I know I mentioned the first three from last week, which were Jim, Shane, and Eric. Okay. And Justin chimes in with Lions, but Cubs clearly won that one. Prince won the one before, and it was pretty much a toss-up between Elvis or Michael Jackson. All right. So my top 14 loves that I listed, and again, I might have a couple that I didn't list that would beat these 14, but let me go on the list here. And Danny D, the spectacular supporter, give me one thing you love about cruising, and I will tell you where I had it on my list, and we'll see if we can mark all of these off. So Danny D, if you can hear me now, put in the comments one of your 14 things that you love about cruising. I don't know. I haven't called individual people out that much here. So we'll see if this works. So Danny D says the ports, which is what I listed as destinations. So destinations or ports, I had that as number 6. So absolutely, destinations or ports are one of the things that we love about going to new places and going to familiar places that we love. Like I love Cozumel. I've been there more times than I can count probably, but more times than, I could try to remember rather. And, I love it each time, because there's just beautiful things, beautiful scenery there. And then, wonderful all-inclusive beaches and things like that. But then obviously we love to go to those places that we've never been, that we've seen on TV or seen, on the internet or pictures or movies or whatever, and said, oh, I want to go to Rome. Like I always wanted to see, the Roman Colosseum and stuff. And finally, Anita and I back in 2016 went our first Mediterranean cruise. And to this point, that's the only time we've gone, overseas until this summer when we'll be going overseas again. And we're going to go on that Journeys cruise from Australia to Singapore. And that will bring about a whole big list of destinations and ports we've never been. So, yeah, absolutely. All right. So Liz from Carnival Cruise Addicts, how about you give us one of your 14 loves, but not destination or ports, since we just mentioned that one, and I'll see where I have it on those. Again, this isn't in any order. My list is not in any particular order. It's just 14 things. So if, you call one out and it's number 13, it doesn't necessarily mean that that's where I ranked it. It's just, like I said, when I was making this list, I was just trying to come up with 14 things, and that's just where I happened to write it down. So Liz from Carnival Cruise Addicts, one of your 14 things you love about cruising. Seg is here. What's going on, Seg? And I don't know if Liz heard me. So I'll tell you what, if the next person, somebody put something you love about cruising, anybody out there, throw something in the comments that you love about cruising. Oh, Liz says no work. Okay, so where did I have that? That might fit into a few different things. Yeah, you know what? I'll make that a separate one though. Yeah, because it's definitely not work. So let's see. I mean, work, I guess, can be fun, so I can't replace it with that one. Okay, so that I think we just created a new one. So that is definitely one that would be a love. Um, all right, somebody throw a new one in the comments there. Somebody threw. Oh, Ben says. Okay, wait, we got a few of them here. Hold on. Watch it. Okay, so let me catch the first one here. Shane says watching the ocean from the balcony. And where would that one fit into? Okay, I'm going to put that in scenery and beauty because watching the ocean from the balcony or scenery at the ports, obviously. So that I had as number 8 on the list, but I think, watching the ocean from the balcony would definitely fit in there. And yeah, you can definitely zen out. I've mentioned this many times. One of my favorite things to watch in regards to the ocean while I'm on the ship is watching the wake and just watching the wake disappear in the distance. So I'm totally with you on that one, Shane. Sean came in next. He said, escape from the everyday life. I think that kind of goes along with what Liz was saying about no work. So we'll put that along with 15. Let's see here. Cruise life. No answering calls, phone. Yeah. And we got Jay. Hey, Sherry says, getting dressed up and eating and drinking. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. So Jay and Sherry, they said getting dressed up and eating and drinking. So actually, drinks I had at number 3, and food I had at number 4. And, along with the food is specialty dining. So, and some of these specialty dinings, especially the steakhouse, for example, they want you to dress up. So you kind of hit, 2 of the 3 I had with the drinks, certainly like going to the Alchemy bar and the food and, and then dressing up the formal nights and stuff, looking nice and everybody likes to look sharp and stuff. So yeah, I agree with that. So Sherry and Jay, thank you for that. So that takes out numbers 3, 4, 6, and 8 so far. And then we have a new one at 15. All right. And welcome Sherry and Jay to the show. Let's see. We have a lot of comments coming in here now. So let me try to catch up to where we were. Yeah, Sean had said escape. Disconnect from reality. Ben had mentioned. Yeah, that's kind of along with no work. And, well, relaxation. Disconnect from reality. We'll tie that one into relaxation. So that takes out number 5. 5 I had as relaxation. Seg, we already said, okay, there's Jay. And Yoli. Yoli is here. No worries. She says, sorry, I'm late. Chris says, no freaking cleaning. You know what? I don't think I have that as one, but that is definitely one to love. So I'm going to put that as number 16. No freaking cleaning. I even put the freaking in there. Justin, stress relieving. I'm going to put that one with relaxation. And Zoe is trying to crawl on the table here and get more treats. So we're going to just push her back, give her something to hold her off there. And Justin, but yeah, stress relieving, that is a good one. Liz says, under this name because comments aren't showing under CCA. Oh, that's weird. Wonder why. And Sandy says, not having to drive after. Yes, absolutely. That's a good one. Let me just put, well, no drink without. I don't know how to put that, but I put that one down as, I'll just put drink without driving. There we go. We'll put that drink without driving. And yeah, that's great, because when you do go out, especially if you drive somewhere, right, you're like, oh, okay, I got to drive home. So I got to be careful, I want to keep myself safe and keep anybody that I could, injure, if I get in an accident safe. So you got to cut yourself off. But when you're on a cruise, you don't have to worry about that. You can get smashed without too much fear of, getting into too much trouble other than making it back to your room. And we have seen some funny videos of people stumbling back to their room. So I guess you do have to worry a little bit. K-Deb says, I love my music trivia and sunrise and sunsets. So that kind of ties in with scenery. But I did put live music. I put live music down here at number 13. So I'm going to cross off number 13. So I do, well, even though you said music trivia, but Hot Tea says music also. So I just crossed that off. Cheryl says Wake is my favorite view too. All right. Great minds. Great minds. Danny D says the shows, and I have that as number 14, theater and performances. And I would have that much higher. So that being number 14 just shows you I didn't put those in a particular order. So that takes that off. All right. So we had music, shows. Cruise Life TV is saying hello, Yoli. Tim is saying hi to Jay and Sherry. K Deb, I do have that one down. I have that as number 7. So K Deb says the weather, absolutely. Especially now, it is so much more true for us in the Midwest to escape now in the wintertime, if it's around Christmas, New Year's, or in my case, we have an early spring break this year, which in Chicago is the end of March. Normally, the end of March is not all that enjoyable here in Chicago. It snows in April sometimes, honestly. So the weather is usually not good. So to get out of the Chicago or the Midwest and go enjoy some nice warm weather down in the Caribbean, that is absolutely wonderful. So the weather is certainly one I put down, and that as number 7. Jimbo from Memphis, and Jimbo, you are numbers. Oh, that's Jim B. Johns. I'm sorry. I thought I was looking at the super chats but no, good to see you though, Jimbo. Let's see. Cruise Life TV. Michelle says getting to know. Yes. Okay, Michelle, you hit another one. Actually had as number 11, cruise director. And some people do book their cruises, based on, they might find a similar itinerary and say, well, you know what? We like this ship and it has this cruise director on it. And I really enjoy him or her. So, yeah, the cruise director. K Dub got another one. Casino I have as number 10. So she put down gambling. Cruise Life TV says, love traveling with your loved ones and creating memories, AKA Michelle. Yes. And I put down cruise family, but certainly family. I have that as number 1, actually. So, yes, absolutely. Love traveling with your loved ones and creating memories. Yeah, absolutely. Liz says, is agreeing with Danny D on one that she picked out. Of course, gambling, Liz says. I guess I got to gamble more because my casino offers have not been what they once were. Shane says the sail away party on the Lido. Actually, all parties. And yes, you hit another one. I have parties as number 9. So we only have number 2. And number 2 is part of parties, I would think. And number 12, surprisingly, has not been called. All of them, I'll tell you the ones that have been called. I have cruise family I had as number 1. Drinks I had as number 3. The food, free food and specialty dining. Sherry and Jay had mentioned the dressing up and stuff. I tied that in with the specialty dining. Relaxation I had as number 5. Destinations or ports, number 6. The weather, number 7. Scenery and natural beauty, number 8. Parties, number 9. The casino, number 10. Cruise director, 11. Number 12 hasn't been named yet. Live music I had as 13. And theater and performances and stuff I had as 14. Okay. So, number 2. We may go to Chicago in July or August to see Big Bro and his girl. Oh, okay. Yeah, well, Chicago's a great place to come in the summer. Just don't come here in the winter. It's not worth it. His wife, join in my own. I don't understand that. I'm sorry. I start reading these comments sometimes, and then people have to explain them to me a second time, and I'm like, oh, okay, I get it now. All right. Will G says bar crawls, and you know what? That is not one that I had listed, but bar crawls are fun, and fun is number 2. So we're going to cross out number 2 because a bar crawl is definitely fun. A lot of the things that were mentioned are fun, but nobody mentioned fun directly. Um, Michelle, no, but I will write that down as one of the added ones that people love cruising for, because a lot of people do love cruising to go to the spa and things like that. Um, oh, yeah, Liz. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so Liz mentioned, and the thing is, I think I know I mentioned Maria from the Alchemy is going to be with me next week, but I already have the week after that show, and she had, and as a matter of fact, let's just put that right here. So I think this is an interesting topic, right? And it's something I can't tell you how many times people have talked about this. Usually, when you talk about upside down pineapples, flamingos, and everything, if I'm talking to people at the bar or something like that, it's usually giggle, giggle, like, oh, I see you got a shirt on that has a flamingo, and ha ha, and kind of, suggesting because, the upside down pineapples and flamingos are, signs for potential swingers and things like that. Um, and obviously, we know that that's a real thing. I mean, in the cruise world, that is a very real thing. Now, I don't know. I couldn't even venture a guess of like what percentage of people cruising. I mean, I don't think it's like a super high percentage, but it's obviously out there and wildly accepted. Like nobody goes on a cruise and doesn't think that that is out there, right? I mean, we all know. So I don't think a lot of people know much about it. People kind of joke about it and things like that. So even though people might not be into the lifestyle, it's one of those things that I think people might be interested in knowing about, kind of learning about. What's the thought process behind it and stuff like that. So for those of you that don't know, in 2 weeks on the 27th, I already have at least one couple that lives the swinging lifestyle that enjoys partaking in that during cruises and stuff like that. And I'm hoping people can watch the show, without judgment and just, it be an informative, entertaining type of show. I know I mentioned that to the couple that I spoke with about it, and I appreciate them coming on and everything. I know it's a controversial topic. I know there's probably some people that are like, "What are you doing?" Doing that, but and in my older age, I do try to do my best to be less judgmental. Not as judgmental. So whether you agree or disagree or whatever, I mean, and again, if you're totally against it, well, obviously just don't watch the show. But like I said, I think it's going to be entertaining, and that's in 2 weeks. So if you think that might be a show, and again, just because you watch the show or you find the show interesting or something like that doesn't mean you have to live the lifestyle or anything like that. So I'll quit talking about it now. I feel like I went on way too far on that. So, but yeah, so it's going to be an interesting topic. So 2 weeks, 27th, tune in for that. All right. So Michelle said, yes, fun, fun, fun. That was number 2. And the spa fitness center, you have to detox before you retox. Yes, I like that, Sean. And you know what? I had gotten away from doing that. And, mostly because I was caught up in doing a lot of the coach cruise video work and everything and catching events and things like that. So that and drinking till 3 a.m. at the casino bar doesn't help either. But yeah, when you do actually make a point to get up, get a little exercise, get a little sweat going, drink a bunch of water, sweat it back out. I mean, you feel so much better and so much more recharged and ready to go for the next day. So I completely agree with what Sean is saying right there. Will G says shopping, and you know what? We're going to add that to the list because I think that is a love for people cruising. I'm not a big shopper myself, so that's why I didn't include it on the list when I came up with it. But I know a lot of people love to shop. They go to the different countries to purchase different things. Yeah, Liz added another one, and that's a good one. Easy traveling. Yeah, I mean, sometimes we travel and we have to get on a plane and have layovers and things like that, or we have to drive long distances And once you're on a cruise, right, you can go to multiple destinations. And it's no, as a matter of fact, it's fun getting there, right? Because you're on a cruise ship enjoying the bars and the nightlife and the live music and the theater and all those different things. Um, so yeah, that's a really cool thing. Let's see. Danny D says, "Yep, shopping definitely." All right, cool. So I think we are caught up. And where are we at on time? All right, so we still have 25 minutes left. Um, I still have a few questions here. A couple of these are sport, and some of these are TV, and then two more superstars. Ben says shore excursions. You know what? I'm going to add that to the list of loves because we've probably all been on some wonderful shore excursions that we just loved, that were so memorable. And look at this here. We got Jay and Sherry. Sherry, look at that. And you know what? That got us right on the brink. Sherry, that got us right on the brink here. That Sherry, you are 46 through 95. So we only need $5 more and we will reach our 100. Real quick, from last week, we had Jim B. Johnson. Thank you, Jay and Sherry. It's great to see you back on here. I send Jay and Sherry a message, about once a week, just checking in. I know I mentioned this a long time ago, but some of you may have not been there. But Sherry's, had a couple surgeries she's had to have, and she's just been battling her butt off like a warrior, trying to get healthy and recover from all this. Has fought nausea, has lost a bunch of weight, just battling with a whole bunch of kind of stuff. And she keeps on fighting and stuff, and just doing her best. So it's always great to see her and Jay on here, and them living their best life. So sending out our prayers and making sure that they get super healthy and can start enjoying the best of that cruise life and travel and everything once again. And look at this. We got Danny D, the spectacular supporter, jumping in here to get us to that 100. And so now we can name off the full 100 here. I was starting to do that there. Jim B. Johnson is number 1 through 8. And then we got Liz coming in once again. Thank you so much. So Liz already has us started on our next one, but it was probably trying to finish out. And look at that, Sandy too. You all are great. Sandy the Pirate Jenkins. So 6 through 10, Sandy. So Liz 1 through 5, Sandy 6 through 10. And I got to do a shot. Let me get a shot here. Jay and Sherry again. Thank you so much. And Zoe went out of the room here, but I'm sure she'll come back if she knows there's a treat involved. All right, so Jay and Sherry, to good health, and thank you again. Thank you so much. All right, that was great. So let's go through and give away a shirt here. Jim B. Johns, 1 through 8. Shane, 9 and 10. Eric from North Shore Travelers, 11 through 20. Tim G, 21 through 30. Oh, there she is. She heard her name. Okay, I know I'm on 1 through 30 here. So high five for Sherry and Jay. There you go. High five again. Give them both a high five. There you go. All right. And Zoe says thank you too. All right. So, okay, so Tim was 21 through 30. Carnival Cruise Addicts, 31 through 45. Sherry B, 40, or Sherry Bell. I said Sherry B. Sherry Bell, 49 through 95. Danny, the spectacular supporter, 96 through 100. And as you see here, there's no number at the top of the screen there. Siri, give me a random number 1 through 100. Look at that. The number is 7. 1 through 100. The number is 7. And look at that. It was Jim B. Johnts. And I don't even think he's here today. So the next time Jim B. Johnts comes on, if I forget, somebody remind me and say, hey, Jim B., you won a shirt. So, yeah, congrats to him. And Danny D says, Zoe. Yeah, Zoe is down there enjoying her treat. So Again, thank you everybody for those wonderful super chats and the wonderful show thus far. So let's go through some of the things here, just in case there's one that I should have written down that you don't feel hits one of these marks. But things we love about cruising. One, cruise family and family in general, right? Two, fun. All the things, and fun can be tied into a lot of these different things, but I put that as its own separate category. Three, the drinks. Four, the food free and the free food and the specialty dining. Five, relaxation. Six, and again, these aren't in any particular order, so I'm not even going to give the numbers. Destinations or ports. Weather was another one. Scenery and natural beauty, another one. Parties, the casino, the cruise directors, comedy clubs, live me. Oh, actually, comedy, I don't think anybody mentioned. That's the one I haven't crossed off yet. So if somebody did mention comedy, I apologize. I didn't see it in the list there. But comedy is one that I hadn't crossed off yet. So stand-up comedy, that's the one that nobody mentioned. Live music, theater and performances, Broadway type shows. And then these are all the ones that we added on. No work, no freaking cleaning, drink without driving, the freedom to drink and not have to worry about getting home or whatever. You just stumble back to your room. The spa, shopping, the ease of traveling, no worries about driving long distances or getting to the airport, things like that. And then shore excursions was the last one that we had. So I think that we hit, well, I have down as for a total of 21. So if there's something on there that I forgot to mention, that you love about cruising, let's throw that in there. Okay. So I promised you at least three more things here. And I mentioned the Cubs and the Lions. We did that one already. So here are two famous baseball players. And these are older baseball players. So if we have younger people in the audience here, you might be like, well, who are those guys? One, I'm almost certain you've heard of. The other one, I'm pretty confident you'd have heard of too. Okay. So you can only bring one of these back to life. One of these guys you can bring back to life. So are you going to bring back to life Mickey Mantle or Babe Ruth? You can bring one of them back to life. Who are you bringing back to life? They were both Yankees. So if you don't like the Yankees, well, I guess you don't have to bring either one of them back, right? But if you could bring back one, who's it going to be? Mickey Mantle or Babe Ruth? So put Mick or Babe. All right. So Liz says Babe Ruth. Will says Babe Ruth. Seg says the Babe. We got 3 for the Babe. Shane, Babe. 4 for the Babe. 5 for the Babe. There's no Mickey Mantle fans. That was like my dad's favorite player, Mickey Mantle. Cheryl says the Babe. Ben says the Babe. Sandy says, poor Mick. Poor Mickey. Mickey gets no love from anybody here. I thought there would be a few. I figured Babe Ruth would win that one, but I didn't think it would be a complete landslide. Sean says, Ruth, I'd like to see if he would be as dominant in this area. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, with all the training they have to, speed up bat speed and all that other stuff, that is an exceptional point. Obviously, they didn't have that way back when he was playing. So that was just natural gifts. But yeah, I would venture a guess that he probably wouldn't be quite as successful as he was back in the day. So that's a good question. All right. Now, this is a tough one for all you animal lovers out there. You can only bring back one. You can only bring back one of these. You can bring back either Benji or Flipper, but you can't bring them both back. Who are you bringing back? Are you bringing back Flipper or are you bringing back Benji? Which one are you going to bring back? All right, we have 2 Flippers. We got 4 Flippers and 1 Benji. Cheryl is the sole Benji. Tim is joining forces with Cheryl. Oh, Benji's making a comeback. We might have to count through these here because Flipper was getting all the love, but then we had 3 Benjis in a row. K-Deb says Flipper. All right. Let's see. We might have to count these out. All right. 1 for Flipper, 2 for Flipper, 2 to 1, 3 to 1, 4 to 1, 4 to 2, 4 to 3, 4 to 4, 5 to 4 Flipper, 6 to 4 Flipper, 6 to 5. 6 to 5. Flipper is beating Benji. That's including Ben's vote. Okay, it's tied now. Sherry tied it. Sherry has made it 6 to 6. So it's 6 to 6. Who's going to break the tie here? We have a 6 to 6 tie between Benji and Flipper. This next vote could bring one of them back to life. Who is going to come back to life? Is it going to be Benji or is it going to be Flipper? Do we got one more vote out there? I mean, there's 32 of you online, and we've got like 6 and 6 votes. So somebody else throw a vote in and hit that like button as you're typing that vote in while you're at it. Cruise Life TV coach, did you get Liz and Sandy on your new list? Yes, I did. Liz is numbers 1 through 5, and Sandy is numbers 6 through 10. Okay, Chris says Flipper. So Benji, I'm sorry, you're still dead. But Flipper and that little noise that Flipper makes is alive once again. So on your next cruise, if you see a dolphin swimming by and it's swimming backwards, it might just be Flipper because we brought Flipper back to life today. So congratulations, Flipper fans out there. All right. So this is some of my old school viewers here. And I watched both of these people growing up. So this would be a tough vote for me. That's why I made it a question. But you can bring back to life one of these two. Bob Hope or Johnny Carson. Bob Hope or Johnny Carson. Who are you bringing back to life? All right. So we have Bob, a JC, Bob. So it's 4 to 1 right now. Cruise Life TV was the only Johnny Carson. Okay. 4 to 1, 5 to 1. Okay. Oh, 5 to 2. Sean made it a second Johnny Carson without a doubt. He's like, give me an extra vote. Bob is still hanging tough here. Sandy just put a Bob in there. Michelle went Johnny. Okay, I think we're like 6 to 3 in favor of Bob Hope, though. I got another one that I just thought of that I'm gonna. Okay, K-Deb goes Johnny Carson. Okay, so I think it's 6 to 4. Still Bob Hope in the lead. Shane made it 7 to 4. All right, so I think Bob Hope's gonna win this one. I mean, we still have a lot of people online, but not everybody's participating in the comments here. So Yolanda says, Andrew says Johnny. Okay, so 6 to 5. If we get one more Johnny really quick, we can tie it up at 6 to 6. Then we'll need another tiebreaker. So right now we got 6 for Bob Hope and 5 for Johnny. Okay, so here's Bob Hope. All right, so yeah, so I think Bob's gonna win here. I think Bob's gonna win. Let me just put Bob's name up there so we know who won this last round. All right, so here are a couple movies from, I think, the 80s or 90s. No, I think it's 80s. Give me your choice here. Goonies or The Gremlins? Favorite movie, Goonies or The Gremlins? Goonies or The Gremlins? Jay said Johnny Carson. Sean says Bob Hope's humor was too scripted. All right. Oh, and then we got some late Johnny votes. Well, okay. All right. We're on to the Goonies and the Gremlins here. So Goonies, your favorite movie or Gremlins? Liz says Goonies. Will says Goonies. Mandy says, I'm too young to know what the hell you're talking about, coach. Cruise Life. But you could know these movies, though, Mandy. I mean, I know they came out after, but I mean, they're movies that like are still being shown on TV. Cruise Life TV says Goonies. Tim says Gremlins. Ben says Gremlins. Seg says Goonies. Gremlins, Gremlins, Gremlins. Okay, we got a lot of Gremlins there right in a row. Goonies, Goonies. Cruise Life TV says Rocky Road. Yeah, well, we'll throw that one in there too. Liz. Yeah, right. Okay. All right. So let's see. That was a tough one again. Let's see. I'm going backwards now. 2-1, 2-2, 3-2 Gremlins, 3-3, 4-3, 5-3 Gremlins, 5-4, 5-5, 6-5. I count 6-5 in favor of the Goonies there. 6-5 in favor of the Goonies. All right. So let me try to think of. Okay. Ooh, I got one for you. This one might be tough. It might be tough. Raiders of the Lost Ark or Rambo Part 2. Raiders of the Lost Ark or Rambo Part 2. What is your movie of choice? The first Raiders of the Lost Ark or Rambo 2? The more popular, the second, the sequel to the original Rambo was more popular than the first one. All right, so Cruz, we got, okay, so let's see here. Oh, look at Raiders of the Lost Ark. Wow, I thought there would be more love for Rambo. I thought Rambo was like crazy popular. Wow, I did not expect that to just. Okay, Ben is a Rambo. Okay, Chris says Raiders, Raiders, Raiders. Wow, Raiders of the Lost Ark. I did not think that would be quite as dominant. A lot of Raiders of the Lost Ark. He always says it was going to be Rambo until you said Part 2. Well, I mean, yeah, because I think Rambo, that's the one where, he goes overseas or whatever, and he's got that little tight necklace that he got from. Look at that. We got Greg and Michelle jumping in here. Thank you so much, Cruise Life TV. All right. So you are 11 through 25, and I got another shot coming, and I got a couple more of these. Actually, I don't, but they're just popping in my head right now. I've got one movie that I want to compare to another movie in my head, and I'm trying to think of something that will give it a battle. Okay. All right. First off, cheers. And Zoe, come on up here. Cheers, Cruise Life TV. Thank you so much. Come on. Man, I'm trying to think of another sci-fi movie to match up with this one. Oh, totally different sci-fi movies. And high five for Cruise Life TV. Greg and Michelle, high five. 2 high fives. Greg and Michelle. There you go. All right. And thank you for that. Totally different sci-fi movie, type movies. You'll understand what I mean when I say them. But probably equally as popular. And I think one is 80s and one is probably 90s. It is 90s. Well, no, I think the first one is 80s. So we'll go with it. We're going to go with it. Check this out. E.T. or Terminator? E.T. or Terminator? Which is your choice there? The extraterrestrial. Okay, I've had too many shots now. The extraterrestrial. I feel like I'm saying that wrong. The extraterrestrial or Terminator. All right. So we got Terminator, E.T., 2-1, 3-1, 4-1. I'll be back as Terminator. 5-1, 5-2, 6-2, 7-2, 8-2, 8-3, 8-4. 8-4. So we had 8 Terminators to 1, or 8 Terminators, 4 ETs. And ET was a crazy popular movie. All right. Okay. I want to try to think of. Okay. I know which one's going to win this one. And this one is older. So, Mandy, you're probably not going to be able to vote on this. but if you know it, you can, obviously. Let's see. And where's my Justin? Justin won't be able to vote on this either. So only a few of you may even know this. I know the first one you'll know for sure, but Smokey and the Bandit. Everybody knows Smokey and the Bandit, right? I got to think of one. I was going to say Cannonball Run, but I know Smokey and the Bandit will beat that easily. So let me think of what. Give me a movie that would match up well against Smokey and the Bandit. Give me a movie that will match up well, that will give Smokey and that will be an equivalent to Smokey and the Bandit, but a different movie. Liz is saying BJ and the Bear. That was a TV show, though, no? I agree. That was a good show, but Frankie Floyd, thank you for that. Oh, Stripes. Yeah. Let me think if I can come up with it. Well, I was going to say Cannonball Run, but I thought that Smokey and Bandit would kill that. That's actually the movie that I had in mind, Jay. You hit it right there. I was going to say Smokey and the Bandit, and I was going to compare that to Cannonball Run, but I just thought that Cannonball Run was a little goofier and it wouldn't quite match up. Oh, okay. So Yoli said Stripes. I got one here. Stripes or Caddyshack? Stripes or Caddyshack? Which is your choice there? Stripes or Caddyshack? Stripes or Caddyshack? Jimbo from Memphis. I was thinking about that TV show that where they had the monkey. I forget what the TV show. Okay. Oh, somebody's saying Airplane. That's a good one too. All right. So let's see here. Michelle says Stripes. And we had a Caddyshack, so 1-1. Stripes is ahead 2-1 with Liz's vote. Michael makes it 3-1. 3-2 with Sandy's Caddyshack. 3-3, Seg ties it. 4-3, Will puts Caddyshack in front. K-Deb makes it 5-3 Caddyshack. Jimbo makes it 6-3 Caddyshack. 6-4 with Tim's vote of Stripes. 6-5 with Cheryl's vote. Jay makes it 7-5. Frankie makes it 8-5. Yoli makes it 9-5. Ooh, good one, Cruise Life TV. And Bruce makes it 9-6. All right, so we got a lot of votes there. Caddy, I forgot who was winning. Whoever I said was ahead, that's who won. Oh, Yoli's saying Porky. She's getting the raunchy stuff out here now. All right, I'm gonna have to go back and count now. I think I've had one more shot that's preventing my counting. Let's go back and make sure we get this vote right, because this was a good one here. Okay, so Michelle was first with Stripes. All right, then Caddyshack. So 1-1. 2-1 Stripes, 3-1 Stripes, 3-2, 3-3, 4-3 Caddyshack, 5-3 Caddyshack, 6-3 Caddyshack, 6-4 with Tim's vote, 6-5 with Cheryl's vote, 7-5 Caddyshack with Jay's vote, 8-5 with Frankie's, 9-5 with Yoli's, 9-6 with Bruce's, 10-6 with Scott. So Caddyshack wins 10-6. No, Stripes didn't win. Cruise Life, they did not win. Okay, yeah, I like that. We're gonna go with here. I'm gonna put this on the screen. I like this one. This one can go head to head. Porky's versus Animal House. I got to tell you, I'm voting Animal House on this one. If there needs to be a tiebreaker, I'm taking Animal House. But Porky's versus Animal House. Where are we going on that vote? All right. Seg says Porky's. Shane, Animal House. Animal House. 3-1 Animal House. 3-2. 4-2 Animal House with Liz's vote. Right now we are 4-2 for Animal House. Okay. 4-3 with Will's vote. 5-3 with Michelle's vote. 5-4 with Tim's vote. 6-4 with Ben's vote. So Ben is ahead. I mean, with Ben's vote, it makes 6-4 Animal House. K-Deb makes it 7-4 Animal House. And the K-Deb says she has no idea what Porky's is. Well, that was one of the first movies that I was able to go to with my dad, where I got to see boobies in real life. So it's I remember that one. Although Animal House is still my favorite over the two. Yoli says Porky's. Sean says Animal House. Belushi's performance alone destroy the entire Porky's movie. You know what, Sean? That's a strong argument. Belushi's performance was quite good there. All right. Okay, so these are some older school movies that yeah, I think have stood the test of time and are excellent. Okay, I need somebody to match this movie up with a contender. A movie comparable that will give this. So the original Top Gun, Tom Cruise. Give me a movie. Okay, here we go. We'll keep it TNT. Top Gun versus Titanic. Top Gun versus Titanic. I'm voting Top Gun here. Top Gun versus Titanic. Any Titanic fans, any Leonardo DiCaprio fans out there that were just loving the Titanic movie? Let's go Top Gun versus Titanic. All right, Controversial Cruising says Top Gun. Cruise Life TV, Top Gun. Top Gun, Top Gun. Yeah, that wasn't fair. Oh, wait, no, we got one. Okay, Sandy says Titanic. Top Gun for certain. Top Gun, Top Gun. Yeah, I needed to find another action type movie. What movie should I have compared Top Gun to? If somebody could throw that out there, what movie from that era would have been comparable? It doesn't have to be like a, airplane movie or anything, but I needed to come up with something better. Mad Max? Would Mad Max have given that a run? Would anybody? Flashdance? Yeah. Flashdance versus Footloose. We could do Flashdance versus Footloose. Top Gun versus Armageddon. Okay. Oh, how about Independence Day? I feel like that was quite a bit after, but I see where you're going with that. Star Wars. Yeah, we're gonna have to do. I mean, Star Wars was in a world of its own. Mad Max. Yeah, Mad Max was awesome. That's what I was thinking about, whether I should have compared that to Top Gun or not. All right, everybody. Well, look, it is already past the hour. I've enjoyed this little extended session where we talked about the movies and everything. Thank you, everybody, for the super chats today. We had Tim G, we had Carnival Cruise Addicts, Sherry and Jay, Tim and Cheryl, I should have said, Carnival Cruise Addicts, Sherry B, Danny D, Liz once again, Liz and Chris from Carnival Cruise Addicts, Cruise Life TV, Greg and Michelle, Sandy the Pirate Jenkins, and Frankie Floyd. Frankie Floyd, I have you for 26 through 28. So you will be carried over to next week. Going on next week, Super Chat's carrying over. That will be the show with Maria from the Alchemy Bar. We'll have Liz 1 through 5, Sandy, the Pirate Jenkins 6 through 10, Cruise Life TV, Greg and Michelle 11 through 25, and Frankie Floyd 26 through 28. Thank you once again, everybody. Tim loved the show. I hope a few others of you loved it as well. Thank you, everybody who's staying on. If you haven't already hit that like button, if you could do that on your way out, that might populate this, replay for more people that might want to watch it later. We'll be on the Horizon Watch. Oh, yeah, that's right. Cruise Life TV is going on the Carnival Horizon. I will be on the Horizon in June. I'm super jealous. I know Mandy is going on the Vista this weekend. So anybody else that's going on a cruise this week, have an awesome time. Or if you have a cruise upcoming, for certain. And if you have the web package and you're not doing anything for that 7 to 8 hour, tune in and say hi, and we'll hope to hear from you. But other than that, Michelle says we will be on the cruise next week. Oh, yeah. Yep. And I will look forward to seeing you, hopefully. But if you guys are busy having fun on the cruise, you do that by all means. Again, thank you, everybody. It was great. And have a wonderful week. And remember, Maria from the Alchemy Bar, she's retired after 10 years on the Carnival cruise ship. So she's going to have some great stories. So don't forget to tune in next week. It should be a great show. It might even top this one. This was a good one, though. All right. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.